Here's another free preset Friday, again with the Line 6 Pod Go, and this time it's 2 acoustic sim in one preset. So one is for single coil guitars and the other is for humbucker, so that you can have this loaded into your patches and you don't have to have 2 different presets, for one for single coil, one for humbucker. You can have them all in one, and we have the pod goes in stomp mode, so you can toggle between them. We have a little delay added, some hall reverb, and yeah, it's a template. Okay, so you might not like what you hear right now. I think it's pretty good, especially it was designed with this guitar, and this is a PRS SE Paul's guitar. So we have, the coil tab. So we have humbucker mode and single coil mode. So it's dialed in according to the specs of this guitar. So it's a template. It's downloadable. It's available in the description box below. The link will take you to the Line 6 website in the custom tone area where you can download it for free and tweak it. It's yours for the taking, yours for the making. So again, this is free. It's a template to get you started, because you might want to tweak to your desired tastes. So I'm going to play it for you, and then I'm going to walk through so you can see, because I do have, for one switcher, I have 6 different parameter assignments to one switch just to toggle between the 2. So here is the single coil acoustic preset. All right, I'm going to switch it to the humbucker, and here's the humbucker one. Alrighty, let's take a look at the editor. You can see what I've done, and I can show you why. And I'm using a preamp and a cab as well, because a lot of people they forgo those. I just tried to use them and spice them up. Let's take a look. Okay, in the editor, let's start from the left. Normally I have the noise gate on, but because there was no noise, I wasn't hearing any. It was so, it's clean. It's an acoustic preset. I didn't even think of having it on. So it's off. If you want to put it on, put it on. Wah, mono effects loop, not using. So here's the acoustic sim. This is not the dedicated EQ block. This is one of my blocks, my 4 user blocks. So I chose that. Of course, you need it to make the acoustic sim. So you can see here, we've got a lot of controller assignments. Right now it's on single coil, so I've chose enhanced, and then when it switches to humbucker, I go to standard. The body. So when it's in single coil, I up the body, and I don't have the top and the shimmer as much, because those are the brightening features, and the body to me gives it more of the bass and the fullness. So when you're in single coil, I want full up, bright down. When I switch, I knew it was going to switch screens there. So now we're in the humbucker. The body goes down a lot. I've turned that down, and I've upped the top and the shimmer, because the humbuckers, as you know, they're fuller. They're just different, more darker sounding than a bright single coil. So I need less of the dark in the body, and I need more of the bright. All right, and then I'll go back to the EQ. I've chose for the dedicated EQ block, I'm using 10-band graphics. So I've tweaked a little bit here, starting at 125 to 250 to 500, and then put the 1K down a little bit. Now here's the controller assignment. So when it's on single coil mode, the 2K and the 4K are where these little top arrows are here. Okay, so they're down a little bit. Even though they're increased from 0, they're down compared to when we have it in humbucker mode right now. I've upped the 4K and the 2K. So again, more brightening. Okay, so let's go to the preamp. Now I've chose, instead of an amp, I chose a preamp. So it's not, so it's not too overpowering or making the tone, how do I say it, like, more harsh, more ampish. I mean, I want it to sound like an acoustic being mic'd. But when I tried using the amp, because I've done presets before for acoustic, and I don't believe I was using any amps. I think I turned the amp and the cab block off. Can't remember, it's been a while. But regardless, I've seen presets where they've turned the amp and the cab off, and they sound great. They're fantastic acoustic presets. But this time it's like, well, let's see what we can do with an amp and the cab. And I didn't find it intrusive. I didn't find it took away the acoustic essence and vibe. So that's maybe what the phrase I was looking for earlier. But I'm using a jazz chorus, so it's the jazz rivet, and yeah, dialed in these settings here, and it wasn't too much that I changed on the preamp, to be honest. And then here's the amp, and to be honest, I kind of just left it as is because it was sounding fine to me. And that's another thing I've been saying lately in my videos, know when to stop. So for me, I was getting what I wanted, so I stopped. You know, I usually tweak the cabinet last. I kind of like starting with the amp and the EQ, and because if I tweak the amp and it sounds good with the cabinet, then I don't even touch the cabinet, and then I'll if I feel there's maybe some further shaping, I'll use EQ. Anyways, again, if you want to change it, change it. It's a free preset. All right, so we've done the EQ here. So here, I've got a comp after all of my tones here. So just using a Veta comp, so it's subtle because there is there's not a huge choice, but there's plenty of comps to use, and I didn't want so many parameters to tinker with and tweak because again, I liked the sound I was getting. So the comp was just a little extra, leveling off and keeping the dynamic, range a little more in control. So it's very I have the sensitivity pretty low, so that's not kicking in too much, and the level is, I upped the level to match the level I was getting without it. So it's just, to help. It's not to dramatically change the sound because I like the core sound. I put the volume pedal here, just why not? You tell me why not. I don't know. And now delay. So the delay, I want to play that again, and I'm gonna go back to the single coil setting because I tend to like that better. Well, I like both, but I find the single coil. I think it's a little better to me, to my ears. But here's the delay, and I'll switch back to the screen here. So I don't know if you can hear that. It was just subtle to create ambience, okay? Because I didn't want it to be like down a well, or I just. Anyways, that was my rationale for the delay. And then again, the hall reverb, I have the decay up, low cuts there. High cut was down a bit, I think around the 2K. I put it to 4, but because I don't want it too bright, but I don't want it too, not enough brightness either. This is what my ears liked, and then the mix is down to 30. So it's just again to create that ambience. I have these two effects, the delay and reverb, assigned to foot switches in case you don't want them on. Okay, so you want to hear it without. Why don't we play it without delay and reverb? With just delay. Or how about with just reverb? And then together again. All right, folks. Free preset. Two acoustic sims in one preset. That'll cover your single coil or your humbucker needs. Tweak them. Yours for the taking, yours for the making. Download link is in the description box below. Enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed this preset Friday. So if you like something more along this lines for maybe some more utility style presets, because we're giving you lots of lead tones and stuff, which everybody likes those, I think. But if you need something a little more functional like this, I find this is more of a functional thing with some great acoustic tones. Let me know. Drop a comment below. Give the video a like if you like it. If you're not subscribed, why not subscribe? It's free. It costs you nothing except doing this. Click. Okay? We'll catch you in the next video. In the meantime, have a look at this one.